Okay, guys, I'm going to address this a final time. I wasn't really going to take hard sides or anything, but the more I look into this, the more it is actually ridiculous for the Daily Wire and Candace Owens. I want you to sit here and think for 1 second. I'm going to go over these points very quickly, and I need you to argue them if you're still going to take DW's side. First and foremost, they gave Steven Crowder a garbage contract. Candace Owens, throughout the whole freaking Tim Pool show, goes, he should have put his big boy pants on and negotiated. I negotiated, blah, blah, blah. Well, after Steven Crowder said it wasn't even about him, it was about outing these contracts that take advantage of YouTubers, and especially smaller YouTubers that do not have lawyers to be able to fight or check through these contracts. They look good to the YouTuber and they sign them, and then it screws them over. People are like, well, he didn't intend for that to happen at all. No, he didn't want that to happen at all, even though he, a month ago, got his website going, okay? And I was thinking about this. I was like, wow, that does seem suspicious, except maybe his whole plan the whole time was to just get the contracts from these people and show them to the world. Very good possibility, right? But here's the problem. When she says he should have put his big boy pants on and negotiated, he did negotiate. Why did you change your story, Candace? Right there in the middle of the thing. Oh, well, he should have negotiated. And then her next sentence is, well, he negotiated, but then Daily Wire just couldn't do it. So guess what? Daily Wire did not negotiate back. They didn't offer him anything. So could he have actually negotiated? Well, it seems like they were like, nope, just our original deal. That's it. That's all they offered him. They never offered him any other deal. They offer him a garbage contract. He says, this is a bad contract. Here's my terms. They go, no. So could he have negotiated? Seems like he actually couldn't have negotiated because they didn't give him back anything. Now you can make the argument, well, he made such a ridiculous offer. He made a ridiculous offer. Okay, well, they made a ridiculous offer. So what's your point? The point is they said he couldn't have negotiated. And guess what? They couldn't. So they offer him $50 million. He goes $120 million. 120, oh my God. Is that really that much? I mean, it's double. But they could afford $50 million. Well, were they really giving him the best of the best deal? Well, no. He makes more through Mug Club. He makes more through ad revenue on YouTube. Altogether, he makes more money. So why would he want to pay them all his ad revenue and stuff and then collect the $50 million from them? Does that make sense to you guys? No. It sure doesn't. So you sit here and say that he couldn't negotiate, or that he didn't negotiate, but then he did negotiate, and then you all said no to any other negotiations. Isn't that a little nuts? You come out and you contradict yourself so hard on this. I haven't seen Steven Crowder contradict himself. Now, in his conversation with Jeremy Boring says, yeah, we got to get these people to work as slave wages until they build their channel up. Ha, 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 ha. It's crazy. And then people are sitting there saying that he insulted Brett Cooper, is it? Whatever her name is. He never mentioned Brett Cooper. Well, who else could he have been talking about? He just said smaller YouTubers. If I get to 100,000 subscribers, I would qualify as that. You know? A lot of other people qualify as that. Look at actually a great example, Mr. Obvious. Mr. Obvious would fall right into that category. He's got I think he's got almost 300,000 subs or 200,000 subs, something like that. Whichever one. They could have given him this contract. He might have taken it. God knows that I'm not going to say he doesn't have a lot of money. I don't know how much money he has. But he obviously couldn't really afford lawyers to fight his battles. He also was needing money after he got cut off from YouTube's partner program. Whenever they cut him off of that, he was needing help, if y'all remember that. And he has 200,000 subs. Just one of those things, right? It's pretty devastating. And guess what would have happened? Had DW came in and gave him an offer, he probably would have taken it. No questions asked. Wow. $50 million, even though he probably wouldn't have gotten offered $50 million with his subs. He probably would have gotten offered like $5 million, but he would have been like, oh, wow, $5 million is life-changing. Absolutely, I'll take that. And then as he gets bigger and bigger, well, now they've made way more than their money back, and he's bound for years. He would have gotten bigger in an instant. In an instant, he would have gotten bigger. You know what I'm saying? And then he would have had to have paid all that back for 4 years straight. And he wouldn't have been able to miss any days at all. Look at how many days he's missed already, right? Come on. It's pretty insane. Part of me wonders if he just quit YouTube and got a job. But that's a shame. Hopefully he comes back. But regardless, I'm seeing all this garbage. I'm seeing all these people just so hardcore defend DW, and they're acting like SJWs. Hardcore. I'm going to read some comments. What was it? One guy, I'm not going to out anybody, okay? But I just want to read some comments out loud. If Owens is wrong, then why is everyone who ever worked for Crowder under an NDA agreement? Get the hell out of here. That's what he says. A non-disclosure agreement is an agreement that you will not disclose certain information. What does that have to do with it? Because he says, Crowder puts his own people under crappy contracts and then has the gall to claim he's part of the movement because they sign NDAs. An NDA may be like, hey, don't ever tell people where our location is. You know, because we need to keep that a secret so people don't come up and smash the building up, you know, protesters and whatnot. Or a non-disclosure agreement could be, don't tell somebody the passcode to get into the building. Another one could just simply be, hey, if I have an inside scoop on something on an investigation, you guys can't talk about it outside of work. That way nobody else gets our scoop. This person has zero clue what an NDA is. And this is the kind of crap that people need to understand. This is what left-wing people do. They go out of their way to take something out of context to fit it to their narrative. That's ridiculous. The other thing that I've noticed people are doing, okay, that really, really, really irritates me, you know? People, whenever they're saying that it wasn't a contract, because Candace Owens says it was a term agreement, not a contract. What a stupid, stupid statement. Unbelievable. Look, definition of contract. I'm going to show you something. A written or spoken agreement. That's really it. Especially one concerning employment, sales, or tenancy. These are just examples. That is intended to be enforceable by law. So you mean to tell me the piece of paper that they sent over to Steven Crowder was not enforceable by law, or it wasn't a written agreement? Unbelievable. SJWs change definitions all the time. What was a term agreement? It was a term agreement. It's a contract. Okay? A term agreement. Let's break that down. These are the terms that are written, that's enforceable by law, and you agree to them. Wow. A written or spoken agreement? That is intended to be forced by law. God, it wasn't a contract. It was a term agreement. This is why, whenever she said this is why I didn't like Candace Owens' take on this. This is the part that immediately, while I was at work listening to Timcast and her on there and her going off, it wasn't even a contract. It was a term agreement. When I heard that, I knew immediately she is full of shit. Immediately. You know, it's funny because back in the day, and I had forgiven her for all this stuff and moved on past it, but she did used to be an SJW, right? And here she is still trying to change definitions to fit her narrative? That makes me suspicious. Maybe Blair White was right the whole time. I thought it was just funny to see Blair White and her fight on the Rubin show. That was a good time, guys. This is really frustrating, okay? And then I have other commenters sitting here saying they were open to compromise. It was just a conversation starter, bruh. You know, and he's like, the contract wasn't predatory at all. It was open to the public. Okay. That doesn't make any sense, guys. Things can be open to the public. How is that not predatory still? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to see people just absolutely hardcore defend this. Have this person saying, dude, it wasn't a contract. And that is just so... I just cannot believe how many people are sitting here trying to change the definitions of things, you know? And what's funny is the guy did end up responding here too. An NDA is a contractual agreement, and it also makes Crowder look like a hypocrite. Like, let's say he was against contracts, dude. Like, this guy doesn't know what an NDA is, and he's, oh my God. People, please, don't be this dumb. If you don't know what an NDA is, well, it's a contract. Yes, it's a contract. Are all contract, and so by definition now, they have moved the goalpost from, well, to a predatory contract to all contracts are predatory. That is what they're starting to do now. It's like, oh my God, guys. I wasn't accusing anybody of lying. You know what's funny about that? I wasn't accusing anybody of lying at all in my original video. And I have so many people coming on there going, well, Steven Crowder was lying. Steven Crowder was lying. And I'm like, guys, that's conjecture. I can't prove he was lying about anything. Well, you know what? You're just spouting off belief. And I said, no, I remain neutral. I believe both of them are telling the truth. They don't have to lie. The contract was predatory. You know? Now they're saying it wasn't, but that's not necessarily a lie. They may actually believe that. You know what I'm saying? But you look at it, it was a predatory and bad contract. But one thing that they are lying about, and I'm going to come out and say it, DW and Candace Owens are lying about, is when they say he could have negotiated. When you sit there and say, well, he should have put his big boy pants on and negotiated, he did. Why didn't you all put your big boy pants on and negotiate? You all didn't negotiate a thing. Only Steven Crowder negotiated. You offered him $50 million for 4 years. He said $120 million for 4 years. And you all said, no, we're not negotiating. Explain that. Now, I know I'm putting words in their mouths by saying we're not negotiating, but they didn't negotiate. They dropped it. They said they dropped it. So I can only assume that they are not negotiating. Okay? Guys, pay attention to this. Watch the whole video. I'm not going to repeat myself on any of this stuff in the comment section. I will just simply reply to you. If you do not make it to this point, and you're seeing me just replying, watch the full video, and you're confused as to why, I'm going to know. I'm not going to argue with anybody on this video. I'm done arguing. Okay? Watch the full video and address the points. If you don't address the points and you bring up another, I'm so close to just banning people at this point. When they're like, oh, well, what about this? I answered it in the video. I watched your video. No, you didn't. I timestamp it. And then they end up just arguing the same point. Well, you didn't really argue this. And I'm getting frustrated with that. So let's not. Guys, watch the video. Okay? Then address the points. If you don't, I'm just going to either ignore you or tell you to watch the video. I'm just getting frustrated with it at this point. Entirely frustrated. Because seeing all these people defending DW acting like social justice warriors is really frustrating me. And then they're accusing me of acting like an SJW and that I'm going off of belief. And I'm just like, guys, I'm just reporting what's happening here. Candace Owens said he didn't negotiate. And then she says, well, sorry, we couldn't meet your $20 million agreement. Unbelievable. She is lying. And so is the Daily Wire. That's all I got to say about it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.